Last weekend I ran my first 100km race, the Kielder Ultra Trail.
Well, that's us arrived at Kielder, all registered and ready to go. First attempt at 100km. Looks like it's going to be a cold start and then dry for the first few hours, and then the rain's due to come in later in the day. So it'll be interesting to see how I get on. Training wise, hasn't been too much long distance really in terms of the runs. Only done 1 week where I've actually run over 100km, but lots of cycling and swimming as well for triathlon training. Weather's looking really good.
I'll put a link to the race video I did up there, but this video is going to be more about what I did in terms of preparation before the race and also how the race went. So to start, took a half day on the Friday to drive the 4 hours up, and it wasn't ideal as there was a significant crash on the motorway which meant we were delayed and couldn't get registered the night before. Wasn't a massive impact though, but did mean I had to get up 30 minutes earlier than planned so that we could register the morning of the race. The race itself started at 6:30 in the morning, and it was an absolutely beautiful day to start off. It wasn't too cold, no rain. However, the weather then did turn and it started raining later in the day. Unfortunately, my gimbal, which I was using to carry the GoPro that I was using to film the race, stopped working, so I didn't get as much race footage as I would have liked, but plus with the rain, it meant that actually I got the best of the scenery in terms of the views for the filming of the first part of the race. Having never run 100km before, I wasn't really sure about pacing, so I went in with maybe a slightly naive approach, and that was to go through the first 50k at a reasonable pace and then hang on, so I didn't have any concerns about making cut-offs and things like that. I realised fairly soon that I had probably gone off too fast, as I was in third position for the first 40k, so I purposely started slowing down at that point. Got through the first 50k in around 4 hours 45 minutes and then carried on in the second half of the race. It took me about 6 hours 45 to do the second 50km, so as you can see I did slow down significantly. The route itself was 2 50km loops, and the weather conditions, as I mentioned earlier, did get slightly wetter for the second loop, so underfoot the conditions weren't as good on some of the trails. But overall the main difference for the 2 hours difference was just that I was getting tired and gone out too fast, so there was not any hope of me ever getting a negative split.
That's the race done. First 100k, about 11.5 hours. Unfortunately, didn't get too much footage on the course because the gimbal broke about 20k in. But yeah, really happy with that. Really miserable weather now, but I'll give a proper update when I get back to the accommodation.
Overall though, really happy with how the race went and the result. I finished in 10th place overall. I think there was around 40 people, 45 people started. My nutrition strategy worked really well. I had a combination of real food, also some pancakes which are made with Mountain Fuel morning fuel, and I also ate a few bits and pieces from the aid stations, but not very much. Drinking wise, I had the Mountain Fuel Extreme Energy and also some additional salts in the form of precision hydration. At no point during the race did I feel that I was running low on energy, didn't have any stomach issues or anything like that. Basically though, that's the same nutrition that I've been using in all my recent training, so my body's used to it and I know that it works well for me during the longer runs that I had been doing, so there was no surprises there. Coming up over the next few weeks, I'm going to have another 2 or 3 kind of build weeks where I'm going to get out, hopefully get a lot of elevation gain, and then I've got the Ultra Trail Snowdonia race, which is a 50 mile, around 80k race, but with significantly more climbing. I think it's over 5,000 meters of ascending and descending, so that's going to be a real test for the legs. And then I've got the Lavaredo race in June. If you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to the channel using the button down below. I really do appreciate all the support, and also please feel free to add any comments in the sections down below. I've put a list as well to some of the items that I used at the race, such as the Salomon S-Lab Sense Ultra shoes which I was wearing, the poles, etc. So you can see a list of those down below.